As you guys know, I was kind of going through some things at the time. And so it gave me an opportunity for an outlet, a great emotional outlet. So it served its purpose. Great. It was great.
If you didn't get the chance to play the part of a guy who just kills a ton of people, could something bad have happened in real life?
Probably. I probably would have killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got this opportunity.
The power of Jim.
James Wade, and James, what did you do in Jackson Bolt? Because you were there pretty much every day we were shooting, and you did a ton of stuff for this movie. What was your favorite thing that you did?
Hey, I'm glad you recognized. I didn't know. I tried to be behind the scenes a bit, but, you know, I ended up in front. But I did some lighting, some chauffeuring. I was a good guy, a bad guy. I even die on the screen. Come on now.
And we love the stuff that you do, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of stuff has to be done behind the scenes to make things look good. Robert Parham and I put this thing together with a relatively small budget. And Robert, wouldn't you agree that when people talk about our budget, don't they usually estimate that we spent about 10 to 15 times what we really did?
Correct.
And a lot of that is because of James Wade Brooks and Addie and Bunny and Kirby and everybody. Now Randy Taylor is also in the house. He's got his microphone off and his camera off. But when he's in the movie, he's pretty good. Am I right?
Yep. That's Randy.
That's Randy, all right.
Yeah.
So, Robert, what made you want to play the part of Jackson Bolt?
What made me? Do you want the truth or do you want the?
No. Don't ever tell the truth. This is Hollywood.
We want it all. We want the whole enchilada. That's for all of our Spanish Latino friends out there.
To be realistic, I'm gonna be realistic. It was a challenging character that I channeled my energy in. As you guys know, I was kind of going through some things at the time, and so it gave me an opportunity for an outlet, a great emotional outlet. So it served its purpose. Great. It was great.
If you didn't get the chance to play the part of a guy who just kills a ton of people, could something bad have happened in real life?
Probably. I probably would have killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got this opportunity. And Bunny, can you tell us about the character you play?
Yes. She's a French assassin. She is she's very manipulative, and I don't know how much I can give away without. Let's just say she really messes with Jackson Bolt.
Absolutely. She gives him a run for his everything. And it's worth going and watching this movie just to see Bunny.
It is. Well, Bunny, what does a French accent sound like?
It is something like this. You know.
Oh, I saw her do that. You know, that's kind of like the.
That's good, buddy.
She actually did that. That's pretty good. That was worth paying the 7 figures to get you on here. Absolutely.
Well, the reason why we wrote that is because Bunny has been to France, right, to Paris. She speaks French. And there's a lot to Bunny that people don't know. That she's well-rounded, well-educated, and probably everybody thinks she's probably the nicest person they've ever met.
Well, they know she's the nicest person.
That's a close second.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking about Kirby, how did you get into this movie?
So I got into this movie on a very weird circumstance. My buddy Leroy called me, and he told me, he said, "Kirby, you have to be in Vacaville by 8:30 tomorrow morning." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because you got to meet this guy named Robert and James, and they want you in this movie." I'm like, "Okay." So I went down there, and I hate to say it, but I was kind of like Robert. I was in a real bad spot. And so I kind of had a little bit of an attitude when I went down, and I met Robert, and Robert goes, well, come back here with me. And so I went in the back, and I'm thinking, oh, great, now what? So we get back there, and I see Vert, which I didn't know who he was at the time, had the camera in his hand. And Robert goes, and I'm going to reveal something I've never told. Robert goes, so young lady, where can you put your foot? Well, I'm really glad that I didn't give the answer I normally would give.
Yeah.
But I told him I could.
Wait, was that Robert Parham or was that Harvey Weinstein?
And so he asked me if I could throw it up by his head, and I did, and it turned out great. And he's like, awesome. So we did the part. I was a hospital hit woman, tried to beat Mr. Parham, and nope, he hit me in the hoo-ha and knocked me to the ground.
Awesome. You were awesome. Now, Robert, when we wrote this, I asked you what one of your favorite action movies was. Do you remember what you told me?
Yes, one of my favorite action movies is a movie by Johnny Woo. He directed it, and now that you put me on a spot, I can't remember the name.
What was the name of the movie where they were fighting in the hospital?
In the hospital, right? That's,
and so I saw the movie. And
Hard Boiled. That's the name.
Hard Boiled. Yeah, and it's not just about eggs anymore. And I totally just ripped off half that movie, and we wrote it where we wanted to do a bunch of fighting in the hospital. And if you got everybody, of course, has seen the movie, but Robert Parham, he's basically going through all the different rooms and down the halls and getting assaulted by people with guns and knives and fists and kicking. And then Kirby really stands out because she throws this incredible kick, and I think she really almost killed you in real life, but it was worth it. And so we have this great hospital scene shot in Vacaville, and Robert he also choreographs the stunt scene, so he's basically directing himself in many ways. And so if he puts in a 12-hour day, it's more like a 24-hour day for him because he's taking on 2 roles at least. And but with people like Kirby making it look real and making this fun, it became a great what do you call it, movie. But back to Vert Wright. Vert, who are you?
I was a cinematographer, and I was there for that scene that Kirby just described. And I remember that, that's the story I tell when somebody asks me when I first met Kirby. When she threw that kick up in the air, I was amazed. I've been a fan ever since.
Kirby, Leroy brought you in. Do you know why Leroy came into our movie?
A gentleman that was playing in that movie had passed on, and Leroy took his place.
We found Leroy, who looks exactly the same as this other gentleman who passed away, and so we replaced him with Leroy. Leroy did an awesome job, but if all of that didn't happen, we never would have met you, and now you're part of our movie-making family. Are you ever going to leave our movie-making family?
Hell no. No way.
There you go.
And you know what's funny, James, is all you guys, when I lived in Vacaville, you all lived within a 10-mile radius of me, and I never met any of you guys. How crazy is that?
That was the restraining order. Willie, tell us a little bit about, now that we're recording our show, tell us again about your character.
Okay, well, let me say this, because Robert wrote me into another movie that you guys did with Randy Taylor as like a godfather, so he needed some gangsters, and then he wrote me into Bonnie and Clyde, and then because I told the story there as a gangster, and then he says, "Hey, look, Willie, come, I need you for this one because I need another gangster hitman." Because I dress like that. That's the way I roll. So he told me, he says, I need you to come dressed like you always do. So I ended up on this one here, Jackson Bolt, as another hitman. hanging out at the bar in the bar scene where a big fight took place. Bunny and her girls were there performing. I was sitting in the booth. Then almost got into a little argument with a couple of ladies. I had one lady on my arm, and then there was another lady that came over and wanted to smack my face. And then it was fantastic. I love it. I'm part of the family and will always be here.
Absolutely. And Willie, I completely forgot about Bunny and Claude. When we started this, I said we're going to focus on Jackson Bolt. We're not going to talk about anything else. But if anybody wants to see Bunny and Claude, just do a YouTube search. It's Bunny. How long is the movie? Like 12 minutes, or it's pretty short.
Yeah, it's even
Bunny
shorter.
is the star.
Oh, as well as you, Jim.
I forgot about me. There you go. But Bunny's husband and their group, Ostrich Theory, wrote the theme song. Jim Meyer wrote the lyrics. But they perform. Bunny is married to a rock star. He's a bass player, right?
He is, yeah.
They have a popular band called Ostrich Theory. So they did the theme song. Willie J. Green is in it, so it's worth watching. Randy Taylor, how you're looking good. Can you hear us?
There he is.
Randy, tell us, what character do you play in the movie Jackson Bolt?
I play the state boxing commissioner.
Okay, thank you. That's our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What made you want to be in this movie, Randy?
Well, part of it was just working with the people I already know. And the other thing is, action movies are fun. So if it had anything to do with action, I'm in.
And basically Robert was directing you that day, wasn't he? And when Robert directs you, he was directing Bunny too, and he wanted everything done. He wanted 20 pages worth of stuff done in about 5 hours. Did that get you a little nervous, the way he pushes people, or did you appreciate the way he directed?
Yeah, I think you meant that tongue in cheek. He was very good, and he told me exactly how he wanted it done, and he wasn't that critical.
Yeah, he yelled at me. So
that's the difference between you and me. I learned how to follow directions in school.
I don't. Yeah, I never did. I don't follow directions. Robert Parham, 6-time world champion kickboxer. Where do we find this movie?
Right now, you can find Jackson Bolt on Tubi TV. You can find it on Crackle. You can find it on Roku. You can find it on Amazon Prime.
Really? Good.
And there's 2 other places, and I can't remember the names of them. I think it's Umo TV, and I think Popcorn Flicks are the other 2.
And it was in Walmart. It pretty much sold out. So maybe
quickly.
Des Moines, Iowa, or whatever, there might be a copy left. But and I think some people are selling it on eBay.
On eBay. It's in a public library in Illinois.
Oh, my God.
So there's a public library in Illinois with a copy of Jackson Bolt on the shelf.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, wonderful.
How cool is that?
I have to make a mention. There's a lot of film producers here in the greater Sacramento area, and just every, I think it's really great. You were actually one of the few that I know of that have really made it to be able to get it generally released nationally, and I think that's quite a feat. I know that Jackson Bolt has been one of those movies that took a while to create. So from your perspective, Robert, just kind of what were the challenges? What were the challenges in terms of pulling it all together?
We had a lot of challenges. I remember specifically there was one day, and Jim can tell you about this, but we were going to shoot in downtown Fairfield, and then we lost the location. And so we had like 12 hours to get another location. It just so happens that we shot on Jackson Street. So it was one of the...
And that was coincidence. That was a total coincidence?
Yeah, 9 o'clock at night, I'm getting a text from somebody. So, we decided landlord probably won't let us shoot in our office. It's just a simple little office scene where Robert kicks a bunch of people in the head. And so I'm texting different people, and my friend Arnett, I text him or call him or whatever, and I think it was 10 o'clock at night. We were finally talking, and he says, "Yeah, come on over to my office." It was what, 1 or 2 blocks away from
It's right around the corner.
like on us, yeah, right
Yeah,
around the corner, and it was Jackson Street. So how crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really incredible. Some things were really just meant to be, and I know, in choreographing this, of course, there were a lot of different fight scenes and people that you had. Robert, is there a specific fight scene that you really felt like, wow, this is a scene that was my favorite?
My favorite action scene in that movie is when Fred and I are in the house, and a motorcycle gang comes to assassinate me. So that's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, I remember.
My second favorite scene is hands down the hospital scene, hands down.
Yeah.
And the opening scene too in the bank. So
so those are 3 favorite scenes.
Those are 3 of my favorites, and they're all equal. But watching it, I really enjoyed the scene with Fred in the house and the bikers. That was, to me, I was like, wow, that came out a lot better than what I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
You guys, let me jump in here for just a minute, because I've got to jump off. I've got a customer here. I've got to do a custom suiting for this gentleman. Robert, whenever you need me, you got me. You need clothing, you got it. Gangsters, dresses, whatever, just hit me up, my brother. All right?
I got you, man.
I love
you
you,
so much.
family. You guys have a great time. And I'll
Thank you, William.
William.
Thank you for joining us here. Definitely,
all right.
Hey, can we talk about Fred for a minute, Robert? What can you say about Fred the Hammer?
Fred is the consummate professional. So I learned, and we all learned a lot about Fred that day. In my relationship with him, he's taught me a lot. I have to tell this story. So we get on set, and we're obviously late because Fred wanted to stop by and get a phone case for his phone. I said, Fred, we're late. He's like, I'm the Hammer. What are they going to do? We get to the set, right? Fred's there. He's dressed, and he's barking orders. All right, let's go. Let's get this scene done. Da-da-da-da. And everybody's kind of running around. Everybody's like, oh, Fred. Oh. And Bert is like, I'm not moving any faster than what I have to. And Fred pulls me to the side. He's like, I like that guy.
Did he say that brother knows his stuff or something like that?
He did. Yeah. Bert had we were doing a Zoom shot, and we're low budget filmmakers. So Bert had his makeshift track, and Fred looked at that and shook his head. He's like, I like that guy. He's got innovation. I like that.
That wasn't what he said at the time.
That's not what he said to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the key things that we see the action, of course, and we see Kirby Bunny, people in front of the screen. But, Vert, there's a lot that happens behind the scene, right? I mean, to capture these shots, I know that Robert, man, knowing his, he's also a bit of a perfectionist, but, he knows the moves. He knows exactly what he wants here. In terms of the thing, what can we, as we're watching that movie, what can you feel like we could really appreciate that maybe we wouldn't just know, that's something that maybe you had done behind the scenes that we're just unaware of from a point of view?
I had worked with Robert once or twice before, but this was the most that I'd worked with him on a single project. And Robert has a certain pace that he likes to move at. And it was a faster pace than I was used to, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist too. Mm-hmm. But over the years of working with Robert, I've learned to do what I do and do it faster. Mm-hmm. And at first I wondered if it would be possible to do it at Robert's pace and still make it good. And I've learned from working with Robert that it is possible to do both. It's possible to do it at that pace, and I can count on it coming out good. So I love working with him. You have to definitely strap in and be ready to run.
Right.
You know, I've never been afraid of work, so it worked out real good, and we worked together really well. So I love working with him.
Okay, now, hey, only you would know from the camera's eye here. You know, Harrison Ford was awesome in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark. When he started getting to the later ones, you know, he said it was really good, just about half the speed. You think Robert's slowing down a bit?
No, not as far as I can see. Not as far as I can see.
All right.
I can see Robert Parham playing James Bond, and I can see Willie dressing the new Bond. Would that not be awesome?
And Bunny would be the Bond girl.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's put it together.
Let's do it.
I'll shoot that. I will shoot that.
Right.
There you go, Jim.
Yeah, well, you know, there's just a lot of great stuff that happens in movies that we don't get a chance to see. Now, do you have a set of bloopers that you're keeping, Robert, or anything like that? Those are always fun to watch.
I do have all of the footage. I do have the bloopers.
Yes.
They are hilarious.
Yes.
Right. And that's something that I think that maybe we should visit. Do a bloopers reel. That's
well, I've got the bloopers from Bunny and Claude and from Jackson Bolt and from my honeymoon. So we're going to put all of those together soon.
Wow, that's really good.
Jim, you can cut that part off because it didn't get any laughs.
Well, no, that's okay. That's why I wanted
my jokes.
That was a blooper in itself, Jim. That was a
Thank you
blooper.
very much.
Wow.
But can you see Randy Taylor playing Blofeld?
Or Dr. No.
Yeah,
well,
Dr. No.
As long as I'm not playing dead, I'm okay.
Right.
I've been a ghost in 3 movies now.
Oh my goodness, you're being typecast.
Yeah,
trying to tell me something.
So, Randy, are you doing any of these film festivals that are coming out?
No, I'm not. But I'm going to be working on something related to Ray's life, the feature movie that was just going to be premiered in March, and the COVID virus hit it. But, yeah, I can't give the details, but they're going to do some stuff with that. It's an amazing movie. 3 different people wrote it, and he finally, had 90% of the acting was done improv.
Wow.
That, and it worked because people were real, and it was unusual. Yeah.
And so you have a character in that?
Yeah, I'm at my age. I was his biggest groupie fan. He was a rock star in the movie.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, you know, one thing that's really important too, this movie Jackson Bolt, it definitely has a nostalgic feel. Just in terms of filming Jackson Bolt and the types of films that you're doing, Robert, you know, we talked a little bit about it. What sort of angle were you coming from? What sort of theme and you know, what was the whole motivation behind just the whole style behind Jackson Bolt?
I'm a huge fan of blaxploitation movies of that era, the movies from the late 60s.
Did you say exploitation? Did you say exploitation?
I did.
Explain that. Explain that.
Well, people weren't really getting exploited, so to speak, but it's a word that some disgruntled journalist used because he couldn't get the first review of a movie called Superfly. So
Superfly.
I just watched Superfly a week ago.
I'm a huge fan of those movies from that era. Huge. So when we shoot, there's not a lot of camera movement as in those movies. The lighting it's not lit where it's super bright. The lights are down just a little bit. And the coloring. So, and the feel, you know, you have to get, what we try to do is we get people from that era to star in our movies. And it just works. It's a formula that works.
Now, if people don't know who Fred the Hammer is, go look up, a lot of people know Dusk Till Dawn, and they remember him from that. But do a quick Google search of Fred the Hammer Williamson, and you'll see, yes.
And Fred's got a movie out right now called VFW. and it's great. It's absolutely great. So
Awesome.
it's on Amazon Prime. Check it out, VFW.
Right.
That's cool. But of course, his greatest movie ever was Jackson Bolt.
Now, interesting name though. Why the name Jackson Bolt?
Actually, it's funny you should ask. Jim told me about the movie, and we were trying to come up with a name for it, and we knew Fred Williamson was going to be in it. So I started doing some research and found a character that he had played in another movie, and it had Bolt in the name. And then we're thinking along the lines of an Action Jackson kind of thing. So I suggested that to Jim, Jackson Bolt, and the rest is history.
Well, was there a movie called The R-Man Bolt?
That Man Bolt.
That Man Bolt.
Yeah.
And then was there another? Was he in another Jackson anything or?
No, that was the guy who played Carl Weathers.
Yeah,
Carl Weathers
Action
and
Jackson.
Action
Yeah.
Jackson. And so, yeah, I mean, basically, we married two different names,
Yeah.
and Bert
And it
came
just-
up with it.
It just
So,
had a ring to it, you know?
yeah. Addie, are you working on other projects right now?
We have a film we completed, Agent 11, that has won so many awards, directed by my brother David John Foster, and
Yes.
we heard that it's going to be fantastic. We are going to have a premiere probably in a few months.
Yeah.
And you guys are all invited.
Okay, I see a lot about that on social media because it's got its own Instagram page and everything. So they are doing really good at promoting themselves. Anybody else in this group in that movie?
Well,
Huh?
I think
Yeah.
Robert helped a little.
Robert Parham?
with the film, and I think and I think David is going to make another film. It's in post-production. Probably is going to be even better than Agent 11, and I think Robert is going to collaborate on that. Am I right, Robert?
Yes. So Agent 11 is a very unique movie. It's awesome. They are taking names and kicking butt. And they have won so many awards. Addie, congratulations on your award too.
I was surprised. I received a gold award in one of the festivals and a platinum award. So, man, really, really happy. Yeah, I play the crazy mad scientist doctor.
Okay.
And, I used to have long hair and little goatee going on, and pretty crazy role, but, was very, very powerful and intense.
That
I
is
really enjoyed it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, Jim, I
Yes,
know
sir.
you actually wrote Jackson Bolt. Is that
Back
correct?
to Jackson Bolt. Yes, Jim Meyer wrote it. It was the most difficult 2 weeks of my life. So, yeah, we had basically come up with basically we started with saying we want to have Robert Parham as the star, and then we wanted to get somebody who is very well known. And Robert says, "What about Fred?" And then he reminded me who Fred Williamson is.
Right.
And I said, "Oh yeah."
I thought you were going to say Bunny Stewart.
Well, Buddy is in all of our movies, no matter
Yeah,
what. Even
that's
if
right.
we refused to,
Uh-huh.
we'd send somebody over to tie her up and bring
Yeah.
her.
Predatory Lending.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly. So we're not going to make a movie without Bunny and Kirby.
Right.
So, or Randy Taylor, or Addie, or James Wade Brooks, or Bert, or T. Chong.
Hey, can I make
okay.
a suggestion, Jim?
What?
And I mean this seriously. I love that short film, $1 Million, wherever it was that you and Veronica Castro were in. I think you should do a watch party with that, and I will watch it. And get
Awesome.
A few
How do we?
You'll
who
have
has
at least
that
one
movie?
person watching it.
How do you do a watch party?
I think it would be fun to have a watch party on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well,
What? How do you do that?
You just post it and then you just invite. You just say make it a watch party.
Jim,
Just
you
invite
need
your
one of
friends?
these. You need one of these.
And
And then you have a party, right?
holding a party in his hands.
It's,
That's great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is a watch party.
I
Party
wish
in a
that
box.
they-
Oh, I get it.
Buddy just got it. She just got it.
I thought it was
Watch
a phone.
party.
I thought it was your Apple iPhone.
It is a phone as well. But anyway, that's a whole other story. The story.
Oh, yes. Okay, so $1 million. We got to find that and show it and do a
Yeah.
little. Oh, wait a minute. That was before I ever met Bunny, so Bunny's not in it, right? Oh my
It was
God.
Veronica.
Right. Well, this is what is really fun in terms of the filmmaking community. It's really great. It really is a family out here, and you get a chance to love each other, hate each other, whatever. It is a community, and people just come together. And it's times like this, just pulling everything together and just really having a great time. Reminiscing about the good old days when it gets released and stuff. And just kudos to you, Jim, for writing it. For all of you have started it, and Robert Parham as well, and Ali D'Souza for directing it and stuff as well. But just wanted to see any final words regarding the actual production. Jim, I'll turn it over to
Can I
you.
say something? You just mentioned something that made me think.
Oh, you're thinking.
Uh-oh.
I see the steam. I see the steam. I see the steam.
Talking about, all of us, we are like a family, and we care about each other a lot. And when I first met
Our
Kirby,
family.
I think something really clicked between me and Kirby. Kirby, remember what I said? I said, "Don't make me fall in love with you." And what did you say?
I said, oh my gosh.
She
You
said,
already
"Oh my
did.
gosh."
Yes, exactly.
All right. Wow, that's what it is.
There you go.
Well, very good. But any final thoughts from you? I know it's been a great time out here, but Jim, I mean, just I know everything starts with the pen, right? But it ends with the action, Robert. So that's okay. But any thoughts from you, Jim?
This Jim here.
Yeah.
The thoughts are: thank you everybody for coming out here and talking about Jackson Bolt. Can we just quickly have everybody tell why somebody should go and watch the movie? Bert?
Because it's a good movie. I mean, the last time I saw it, I actually watched it on Amazon Prime. And it's a good movie. The story's good. It's well put together. I'm proud to have been a part of it. So watch it because it's a good movie.
As the reviewer said, it's an action junkie score. Bunny, give us another reason.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say please promote your local filmmakers. It is rare when we get distribution, and so it's gone so far. Fred the Hammer Williamson and Robert Parham are brilliant. And it is a lot of fun if you want to see an action movie. And this is the time to kind of, lay low and get caught up on all of your movies. So, yeah, check it out on Amazon. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for being on the show, Bud. Kirby, why should somebody go see this movie?
Because it's the best movie on the market. We made it.
Absolutely.
That, and you know what? There's just a lot of great actors. And again, I just want to thank all you guys, Robert, James, Bunny, Bert, everybody that's on here. Thanks for inviting me into the family.
Thanks for being
Thank you,
part of our
Kirby.
family. You're never going to get rid of us. James Wade
Love you,
Brooks
Kirby.
in the house. What?
Hey, wasn't there over 200 of us in this thing?
I think
It's
so.
close to it. Yeah, it's close to it.
This was like the funnest thing that I had been part of, right? And Randy actually got me going to meet Jim years ago, and now I've been in a couple of your guys' gigs. And this is, to me, that's what I would tell people to go for the fun of it, right? It's a fun show. We had a great time. A lot of us from the local area participated. And so I appreciate all of you for being part of this.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
We do.
Daddy, why would anybody want to see this movie?
Well, I think everybody worked extremely hard to make this film, and there are very good moments. The emotion is showing, and what do I say? Robert was fantastic, and like you, Jim, just you kill it, brother. You both kill it, and Bonnie. Oh, come on. And who else? We had Adi from London. I mean, amazing. Everybody worked so hard. And, I was honored to be part of this, to be the usher. Lots of people came for the premiere. well, big names, right? Robert, is that right? Big names came to the premiere, and man, fantastic. You should see it. You won't be disappointed, right? Go and see it now.
Awesome. Hey, Randy, when you tell people about this movie, what's the reason why they should come see it?
What I took away from it a lot was what hasn't been mentioned, and that was I thought a lot of the acting was really good. Really good. I thought Eddie Alpha knocked it out of the park. I thought the scenes where Robert and her were on the phone were really good and kind of made it more of a real experience, like real people instead of just people fighting. Fred Williamson was Fred Williamson. He was perfect. And frankly, Bunny, of any short film or anything you've done, I like this the best. I thought your accent was really genuine, and I thought you looked pretty, and it was a nice touch. So overall, I liked it for the acting. And I think people should, sometimes we don't need to have a movie with a big moral message. We should just watch a movie to be entertained. And so it moves very quickly. I think people would like it.
Well, thank you. When Robert and I make movies, no one ever says, I went there for the moral message. Trust me.
Watch Jackson Bolt, because it's some local filmmakers with passion, a drive, a goal, and you can see what they can do. Give us a camera, give us a story, give us Vert, give us some great actors, give us some great makeup artists, and see what we can do. I mean, who else has got a movie? We got Fred, we got Randy Taylor, we got Natasha D. Davis, we got Addie Alpha all the way from England. Come on. Come on. You got to see
and we
Jackson
did this
Bolt.
with very little money. Our one call to action, of course, is for people to watch the movie. The second call to action is to write us a check and be our investor for the next movie. But there are probably some kind of rules that make it impossible for us to ask for investors. Who knows? I'm not a registered, whatever it is, securities person. But Robert and I, we run a little company called Mayhem Films, and you could do a lot worse with your money than writing us a check for, what do we want, $5 million?
I stop at 5.
Yeah, well, the $5 million is just Bunny's salary. The rest of it is to make the movie. And anyway, so Jim T. Trong, the Walk Star, why don't you take us to the end of the road here?
Okay, there's a lot of great things that we could be doing right now. Seriously, be safe out there. And filmmaking is a great way to be able to document some things, have a lot of fun, create a community. Right now, things are very different in terms of the filmmaking arena, but it will come back. And, you've just witnessed some of the family here with Jackson Bolt. You're going to want to make sure you don't miss it. We appreciate those of you that keep in tune here. We're usually doing a lot of business on the Power of Jim. And, we just have some great people here that are part of the filmmaking community here in Greater Sacramento. We want to thank all of you for joining us on one of the best talk shows premiering here in Greater Sacramento. That is the Power of Jim. And everyone here too. Bye-bye.
Power of Jim is a pretty big deal. Make some people cry and some will steal. Make your granny jump and start to swim. Supernatural, that's the power of Jim. Stronger than strong, cooler than ice. It's the highest and the very best asking price. Makes a bad day great, makes a poor man rich. Power of Jim fixes almost any glitch. Ooh, got no family, got no friends. You've seen your world through a broken lens, but you're getting something great now, ready for a new kind of wow. You got the power of Jim. You got the power of Jim. Ooh. Starting out, you will be scared, but you're moving on up and you're unimpaired. It'll be cool when you discover you're in the right You see the